Hmm. All right. I don't know if it has started streaming. Let me check. Pa, pa, pa. It look like it has started. I can see it in my mobile phone. So yeah. So hello, we you. All right. So hello everyone, and today I'm going to work on the memory aspect of our chatbot because you know, we have implemented this, and the way we are doing the current conversation is not the most intuitive one. We are sending one message, and then we wait for the response, right? And to be very honest, this is not how a typical conversation will move, because you will have turn by turn conversation. User will say something, there will be the chatbot which will respond back. Then in most of the cases it will also use tools, so there will be tool messages as well, right? So there are quite a few things which needs to be factored in. And the memory management, right, is a big topic in AI and agentic thing. So what I will do is I'll break it down into smaller videos or smaller sessions. And in this one in particular, what I'm going to do is see how we can use the in memory um, or the context based memory, right? So that we get a little bit of better conversation going on. So, and I'll show you the result of the current one. Okay. In the meantime, I have a message. Hey, hi, how are you doing? Thanks for joining the live, and I hope you find it interesting. Okay. Right. So if I run this thing right now, okay. Um, by the way, to start this, okay, I am in this folder. Sorry, deactivate. Hmm. So when I try to run anything, if you remember from my previous video, we had created a virtual environment, right? And to use that virtual environment, you need to go into that folder and do source. We have our venv, then bin activate. Okay. And you will see this kind of a thing, or you can even do which Python, which will tell you that the current binary is from the venv. This is what we want. And I can show you here. Actually, we executed this, and here is our Python binary. Okay. All right. So now this is ready. And what I will do is run Python in terminal. That should work for me. Right. This is what I'm getting, right? So I need to change something over here, and then, it says something, and this is fine to a certain extent. But can I do a chat with the user, right? That's what we would try to do in this video. So let me remove everything, because what I was doing over here is I have this you know array of messages. I don't know what they call it. I think it's a dict. Okay. Yeah, I'm still getting familiar with the okay, it's a list. Sorry. So I'm still getting familiar with the terminologies of Python because I have been doing PHP and JavaScript for so many years, right? I'm still learning those things, and sometimes I do get confused. But yeah, I know generally what they do and how they work. Okay, so mm, hold on. What I'm trying to do over here is I would wait for the user input. Okay, so for that, what we you do is while true. So this will continue to get the user input till we break out of it. Okay, so what I will do is user underscore input. You can see already a lot of um, completion is coming up. Okay, input will be empty, and then what I will do is if user input dot lower, yes, correct. If it is exit, quit, or even a small queue, then I'll break. Okay. So what happens is with this, right? I mean the terminal will be kind of uh, waiting for user inputs. Oops, not PQP or something like that. So I will show you what would happen is now it executed and now it is working. And if I do Q, it came out of that, right? So this is what we wanted, that I'm able to constantly do some chit chat. Now, I should have kept the previous version, but what I was doing was, you know, kind of getting a response. So response equals, I need to invoke the graph, and in the invoke, I'll pass messages. And what I will do is human message. Yes, I can definitely use this. So what I'm doing is whatever is coming as user input, um, in this list, I'm adding this and I'm sending that messages as this. Okay. So this is the first thing. We haven't done anything major yet, but just I will do print intent. Okay. And I will no, not response dot state. It should be response intent. I think that's what it is going to be. Let me run that once and see. Should not break. Okay. Hi. Mm, wrong window. Hi. How are you? And it says intent detected unknown. Hi. Can you book a flight? Perfect. So we are in the first stage where we are able to get a chat based kind of an interface, although in the terminal. But yeah, just a second. So I have one more message. I have Dev Kumar Verma saying hello. Hi, Dev. Thank you for joining the live, and I hope you find it useful. If you have any questions at any point of time, guys, feel free to ask those questions. I'll take it up as you post it. I have an eye on my on the chat through my mobile. So yeah, even if I don't open this, I am keeping a watch. All right. What is the next thing that we want to do? Mm, uh, I had a thing about. Right. Okay. Anyways, I'm sorry. Right. I I got out of the loop again. Now, if you if I print the entire thing, right? Print, uh, let's say response. Okay. And if I run it again, hold on. I'll also, add a little bit of interesting thing over here. What I'll do is say print. Welcome to the travel agent chatbot. Yes. Yes, you can do that. Type exit this. Um, Anything else? Maybe not. I have a feeling what I can even do is use the template string kind of a thing because it does help in getting multi-line stuff easily. Okay. Yeah. So now if I run this, okay, what will happen is perfect. Can you see? And I have some interface. You can add emoticons and stuff as well. That I can exit and I can get back over here. Now we had printed the response. So why I am showing you this? Let's see. Hi, can you book a flight? Okay. Now in here, I have multiple. I will have multiple messages. Right now it is one. Okay, because messages right now has only one, and we know that it is a list, right? Messages is a list for us. So how can I print all the messages that are present? Okay, I have to tweak the code a little bit, and based on that, what will happen then is, we will get every time there is a thing going on, a conversation, I will print everything. So for message in response messages. Wow, perfect. Pa, 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 pa. So I'll explain you. So what happens is we have two types of messages. I'll show you the import. See, from LangChain core messages, I'm importing either a human message or an AI message. Okay. Now, have I used the AI message? Here you go. Right. So when the response is coming, it is AI message, whereas when the user is doing anything, it is the human message. So, what we are doing over here is we are literally, for each message, we are checking the instance type. Okay. And if that instance type is of type AI message, then we print AI, and otherwise we do user. And if it is unknown, then maybe I'll just print the message. Okay. Now, there is one more thing which I need to do, and I forgot how to concat the message in Python. Pop, pop, pop. So I have AI, comma this print. Let me try and do this and see if, because I would want a new line after that, and it is not taking that. So there is, oh, sorry. Um, is it plus like JavaScript? No. Yeah, I think so. At least the completion is saying that, so must be true. I'll have to break out of this and I'll run it again. So, hi, can you book a flight? Perfect. It says I can definitely, so here is this thing, AI, hi, there is, and the slash n is also working because after the user, okay, which is this message, um, there is there's a gap, one line of gap, and then it says this. Do you have those details? Now comes the best part. Yes, I have those details. Now see, previously we had detected intent as flight booking. We had a conversation. I said that, hi, can you book a flight? Now, when I do, yes, I have those details. See, intent detected unknown. Okay, what just happened? It says, I don't understand. Unfortunately, that's outside the services I can offer at this time, which basically means it forgot. It forgot what I was talking about. And this is where the memory will need to kick in, because without that, my bot is not able to do much about the conversation. Okay, so there are multiple ways that we can augment memory. um, Langchain and Langgraph gives you a lot of different ways to manage memory inside your AI, in your agentic solution. And in this video, I am going to talk about the most simplest way where we can implement, because that will be like the first step of, I would say, the first step of implementing memory. And as we start going more detailed, or once we start making our application more sophisticated, we will see how those things will come into picture. Okay, so let's start. Right, the model doesn't remember anything, so what I will do is, as the first step, what can we do? We will create a mm, we will start pushing things in the list, because if you remember, our state message is a list. So that means I can push things into that message. And in this current scenario, because my process is constantly running, I will have access to that variable, correct? So if I push certain things into that list, my rest of the conversation will be able to access that list and understand what is going on. And that is the very basic way and the starting point of implementing a memory. So let's get started. Okay. Um, so what I will do is I will add a function called, wow, I think it still remembers the, how do I say, code that I had written, because I was practicing this before doing the recording. Anyways, so yeah, what do we do over here? We get the messages, and I have a max length. Okay. Now the max length, what I can do over here is also equals 5. Max messages. Okay. So instead of this, I have done max messages is 5. Now, for this, What I will additionally do is, hold on. So I'll have basic documentation which says get the most recent messages up to a maximum length. Yes. And what happened to this? Max messages is not defined. Um, why would that be the case? Oh, sorry. Now it should not complain, and it doesn't. In here, I will return. What should we return? We are expecting a list, so I will have m dot content for m in. Um, yeah, this is correct. So what I'm doing is I'm sending a list, and in that I'm only taking the, I would say, the latest 5. Okay, that is what we are doing over here. Now this is kind of ready, but we need to implement this in um, our nodes, right? So for example, we are only taking the latest message. So what I will do is messages equals state dot messages. Yes, that's correct. And over here, I will do messages -1 dot content. And oh, there's a spelling mistake. All right. So I'll have messages as this, and I'll also pass latest message as latest message. So what just happened? Let's understand. So I took all the messages over here, okay, and I took the latest message as a latest message variable. And in here, what I will do is instead of messages, I'll pass it through the get recent messages. Okay. Oops. The autocomplete is not working. Uh, pa, pa, pa. Perfect. This is what our final thing would look like. Now, obviously, that would mean that I'll have to change my prompt because currently I'm sending these two things. But if we look at our prompt, let's start with this one, intent detection prompt. This doesn't take that particular thing into consideration, right? Because there is only the message. So how do we add that? Well, let me add a little bit of prompt to it. Based on the recent messages, if the user has already provided information about flight or booking, uh, yeah, looking for then provide a more accurate response. Okay, let's go with that. So what I'm trying to do over here is for the intent, I have all these things. If the user's intent is not about flight or this, and in here, I'll just start with based on the recent messages. You can determine what the user is looking for and then provide a more accurate response. I have now you are provided oops with the last user message and the recent user message. Okay, this becomes my system prompt, and I'm keeping everything here in the system prompt because I know that system prompts would typically get cached. Okay, so I will not pass the messages inside the system prompt because that would mean that the prompt will change every time, and that is not something which I would want to do. You're provided with the user messages and the recent messages. I'll remove the as part. I'm not very confident about that particular prompt thing. And here is the recent user message. All right. So let's see. We have this and we have this. Ideally, if everything is done properly and if the demo gods are with me, nothing should break and I should be able to run things. Otherwise, I'll have to take help of Copilot. Right. So, hi. I want to book a flight. Can you help? Okay. It seems there's a lot of new lines. But yes, hi there. I would love to help you. If you need details. Okay. Do you book hotels as well? No. Do you need all these? Let's see. Okay. This didn't work probably because I only added the conversation in the recent one. Um, yeah. So let's try and add it to everyone and then maybe try things out. Okay. So this is my prompt. I'll change it for others as well. Um, take the user last message and uh, and recent messages in to consideration. Ah, this should be better. Okay. Uh, this is done. I need to change my prompts and make them much better. These are not very good prompts, to be very honest. I'll make those changes and maybe I'll commit that to a Git repository so that you guys can go through that. Let's see. So all our prompts are ready, but this refactoring needs to be kind of carry forwarded everywhere. So um, latest message. Okay, and intent. No, not intent. Response will be chain dot invoke. Response chain dot invoke. Yeah, this is correct. I have messages. Latest message. Generic intent prompt. Response equals this. I'm passing the messages. I'm passing the recent messages. Yeah, seems all right. get this for flight booking and for uh, mhm. Yeah, these I can copy. Response. Yeah. And we have this kind of there. Let me see. Uh, oh, yeah. One more important point is the reason. I guess I completely miscalculated, and I'm so sorry about that. So the reason the previous thing didn't work, one of the major reason is also that so far we are actually not sending all the messages, because if you see over here, I'm only sending this, and this needs to change because we have to pass the rest of the things as well. So there's no question as of now. Fine, let's move ahead. And so how do we do this? Well, uh, we need to first define an empty state, because when we are going to send or invoke the graph where with appending the messages, we will need the state, right? So what I will do is state equals I'll do messages. It's an empty list and intent is none. Right. This should be fine. Now, after that, what I will do is state messages append. Yeah, correct. State messages append human message, and I'm taking the user context, which is kind of correct. And then I'm what I will do is state.messages equals state.messages and yeah, minus max messages this. So what it will do is, yes, limit to the last max messages. So that number is kind of dynamic for me. I can even get it from my env if required. Okay. Now in here, I no more pass these things. I'll directly pass the state. Mm, because I have the intent also as none. So yeah, let me see. Is this looking correct? Let's go over the code once again. So I have the max messages. This is fine. The recent messages in the intent, I have message, latest message, and then chain intent. This is properly done. I'm taking the 5 messages, which is another part of the messages thing. Then messages content, yes. Generic flight booking prompt and the hotel booking prompt. Okay, fine. And let's look quickly at the prompts that we have. Yes, we have the user prompt, messages and latest message. All right, recent messages are here. The recent messages are here. Perfect, perfect. All right, looks kind of okay to me. So let's run it once more and say, hi, I want to go to Delhi. Well, I can't help you with any specific activities. I would be happy to help you with book a flight. Okay, would you like me to look at the flights? Uh, can you book hotels as well. Let's chat. That's right, I can help. Okay. Do you know where I am traveling? And now this is where the memory should come in. And it didn't, which is a bit weird, to be very honest, because I expected this time it to kind of work. Do you know where I'm traveling? Let's let's debug and look at the state, because I wonder, am I passing the correct thing over here? Yes. Ta-ta-ta. Why it is not coming up? State will be big, but I have to check that. Um, yeah, maybe I'll do print current state and comma state. I'll just print the messages. I think that's more than enough. Let's run it once more and see if we are able to get it. Hi. Now let's see. It says current messages. Yes. Tell for that place. I can definitely help with that. And it says, what location are you interested in? Which kind of doesn't make sense because, um, right. So current messages, human messages, this. And I wonder why it is doing that, because in here, user, can you book a hotel for that place? And it has only one message. It didn't append that thing over here. And let me understand. So I have an empty thing going over here. Okay. Then in the messages dot append, I'm doing human message. Content is user input. Then I'm doing state dot messages. Again, the key is correct. State messages. It will be minus 5 and this. Right. And it should have worked. While true. Mm, okay, let's try once more and see. What does it say? Yeah, fine. So I have hi. I want to go to Delhi. Do you have flights? Okay, says yes. And hotels. This time, no, it still is giving me a problem because it doesn't show the message, and I'm not sure why this is happening. Okay, let's see. Um, I'll create a new one. Say that my messages are my recent messages are not getting added. Can you find the issue? I am pushing it over here, append. Then I wonder why it is not working. So, yes, the issue is how you handle state messages in your main loop. You are resetting you are resetting state and then only appending the last user message each time. What does it mean? Ah, is that so? Um, I don't think so, but okay, I can try. I don't know. Okay. So basically, it took it outside, and will it work? I don't know. Let's see. Um, Hi, can you book a flight to Delhi? Okay. And a hotel as well. Oh, yes, it was right. So it kind of resets the thing, and that's why it was a problem. Let me see what the message says. Mm, I can help you with, okay. Do you know where I want to go? Yes, it seems you're looking for more information about your trip to Delhi. While I can't help you with specific requests, I'm happy to book you a flight and hotel for you. Would you like me to start looking for options? Okay. Um, Fine. Let's say let's try and understand, if we can utilize the memory thing even more by saying, mm, I want a flight till um, till maybe Kolkata, but no, I want a flight, but do you have hotels available? And it says, I need a few details. What city are you departing from? Where are you flying to? Okay. Why are you asking the destination? I told you I want to go to Delhi. Let's see. Um, so now, and a hotel as well. Right, it is here. So, do you know where I am planning to go? I know you want to go to Delhi to book your flight, blah, blah, blah. So, yes, this is exactly what I was talking about. And as you can see, right now, this is just a local memory, which means if I launch it again and ask, do you know where I am planning to go? It will say no, because that array of messages is now gone, right? And that will not give the context. You can see right now we have only one message. But the moment I say, okay, let's start, I am planning a trip to Delhi. Okay. Now the prompts are a little wacky, but it looks like you're planning to trip to this. Okay. And now it says, uh, do you have flights for that place? And it says, great, I do have flights to Delhi. So it knows. I set the context and I am asking more questions, and it is able to answer me, with those things. Now, obviously, the prompts are not the best, I told you earlier, but it does have that memory right now to continue the conversation. We can see, this is happening, right? And this is exactly what was needed for us to have a turn by turn conversation. This is just the start. This is not the ideal way, but this is the basics. Now that we have the state, now that we know what it takes to maintain the memory, in the next video what I will do is try and push this into some kind of storage, maybe a MySQL storage, so that the conversations are getting stored and we are able to even resume a conversation in a way that user can come back to one particular conversation and talk to you. Right, so that's pretty much what I wanted to cover in this video, guys. The memory is important. We need to understand how we can send the important conversation messages to the context of the LLM so that it is able to do more meaningful things. And yeah, that's about it, guys. If you like this video, then do click on the thumbs up icon. If you have any questions, then feel free to ask in the comments below and I'll be answering them.